The Lord God gave Adam and Eve, the man and the woman, different bodily forms. To the man, God gave a penis, and to the woman, He gave a vagina, so that they might become one flesh and one in emotional soul. Where do you think babies come from? Isn't it from the union of men and women, male and female, that God designed? Therefore, a husband and wife are two halves of a whole, each a source of life on the earth, and a source of emotional and sexual nourishment for each other. God gave the man a need for physical closeness and the woman a need for emotional safety, so they might seek each other out and have pleasure in their unions, in their lives. Therefore, a wise and loving husband builds a house of safety with his words and his actions, so his wife may find rest there. A wise and loving wife creates a space of welcome and warmth, so her husband may find peace there. The fool in marriage holds back affection, as if the marriage no longer needed love. The wise wife initiates intimacy, knowing that the relationship relies equally on her actions. The loving husband initiates romance, knowing that the relationship relies on his sweet affections. A man's testosterone gives him the urge to provide and protect, and a woman's estrogen gives her the desire to connect and nurture. These are not burdens to be endured, but blessings to be shared with joy. The marriage bed is not a place for selfishness, but for sacred union. Emotional intimacy is the air a marriage breathes, and physical intimacy is the lifeblood that flows through its veins. God's purpose for marriage is not to test your endurance, but to be a source of your deepest joy and fulfillment. Your spouse is your daily bread, a provision from God to meet the hungers of your body and soul. To fight against the needs God gave you is to fight against your own happiness. A wise couple learns to read the hungers and thirst of their spouse, and they make it their life's work to satisfy them. A husband finds purpose in giving his strength, and a wife finds purpose in sharing her softness. A marriage is not a contest of wills, but a partnership in love and grace. The needs you have for each other are not a sign of weakness, but a sign of God's perfect design. When you deprive your spouse, you are depriving yourself of the blessing God intended for you. A healthy marriage is a sanctuary where needs are spoken, heard, and met with love. Do not let pride build a wall between you and your spouse. Instead, build a bridge of communication and affection. The most satisfying part of marriage is the shared life of giving and receiving. God gave you to each other so you would never have to be alone again. Therefore, the man who nourishes his wife will find his own spirit nourished in return. And the woman who cherishes her husband will find herself cherished in return. So love freely, give generously, and find your fulfillment in the fulfillment of your spouse.